I don't care what you have in the bottom of your card. Most of these people on this call are going to be salespeople. And here's the true definition of a salesperson. It's to convince someone to do something that left up to them would not get done. Let me repeat that. It's to convince someone to do something that left up to them would not get done. I think there's a common thread in most of those people on the sidelines in that incubation queue. I think they really have a desire to be able to buy. And I think they're caught in that 2008 connectivity thing that's kind of pushing them off to the sidelines. I can show you facts based upon a borrower buying a house in 2001 and thinking to sell that house in 2006, peeking into the market, thinking that was they were going to do that. They decided not to be able to do that. Then they fast forward the tape to 2008, and they don't want to do it now. But I can show you a side-by-side comparison of a monthly payment in both of those scenarios that will show you side-by-side comparison. The customer is actually better off in a monthly payment side, as much as $600 in some cases, that they're actually better off in 2006 than 2008 than they were in 2006. And it's our role to be able to present those folks, with what's going on there. So that's really, truly our definition as time goes by here to be able to really look at that and really understand what's going on with that. So let's talk about presentation here, then I'll leave this open for Q&A so we can talk about anybody who's got any pain on the market in the marketplace today that maybe I can help you with. I think presentation skills are designed today. We have to regain the trust. As I said before, I think we're guilty until proven innocent, meaning that the consumer is guarding against both the realtor and the mortgage people out there today in this environment. I think we've got to be able to create the path to satisfy the desire. I think deep down inside, not everybody, this is the data mining component. We've got to be able to figure out the ones that are out there that we really want to be able to, that want to be helped. And there are some people out there that just want to stay in the incubation queue. But we've got to be able to stack rank those people in a way for us to be able to look at this and really be able to understand that. And I think, as I said before, facts make this creditable. I think when we start presenting facts and I show you numbers, that's why I think it's so important today for the mortgage folks to be aligned with the real estate folks, because I think it's so critical that you present the facts in such a way that we can look at this and really start to understand that. And our dilemma today is the consumer needs information to make better decisions. The consumers that are out there on the sidelines, they're making those decisions just based upon who's guiding them to be there. They're not truly informed. Our jobs become informing them and getting them facts and great information to be able to make better decisions. I think the media is over-dramatizing all the situations. Bottom line is to sell more newspapers. You can see it in the Sarah Palin situation, with her running, whether you're a Republican or Democrat. I mean, the scrutiny that this lady is getting is beyond belief with what's going on there. And then I think the truth will come out one-on-one with an expert in the field, both the realtors and the mortgage people. And I think it's truly a one-on-one environment. I think it's real important for us to be able to realize what's going on. The solution is we have to be able to present facts to combat the media. Now, I think you've got to be able to step back, look at this, take some time, and say, how am I going to be able to combat the media? What I've chosen to be able to do is help some folks along with this. So I've chosen to be able to develop some product that's associated with how can we help do that. I've created a system called, this is not a commercial for me, but I've sit back and said this, I created a program I call Telegram. It's a system with an educational video from myself with a different subject coming out each month. But this $7,500 tax credit here, folks, is unbelievable with what this is going to be able to do to stimulate the first-time home buyers if we take this the right way. And bottom line here is this is what the Telegram looks like. It's an email that would go out. You would send it out to your clients. It basically says, attention first-time home buyers. President Bush just signed the Housing and Recovery Relief Act of 2008. Even if you're not a first-time home buyer, this message may be relevant to you. If you have been thinking of selling your home, now may be a good time to do so, because additional buyers will be in the market. This provides some huge incentives for renters who are considering buying their first home. Watch the video to see how this affects you. This is a particular subscriber of ours. I just took a copy of their postcard. He did not have a picture. His picture would have been embedded up here. When this is opened, it immediately plays a specific message from this particular person. It's his voice. When he clicks on this particular video, it'll play a 9-minute video that I talked about in that scenario of the first-time home buyer. Now, there's two things that you've got to be able to look at in that case there with the first-time home buyer. There are two things that happen. Number one, the bill is good until June of 2009. My concern with that is people will procrastinate on that and look at that. So what I found in this marketplace is what I call the eclipse of the first-time home buyer. This is a first-time home buyer eclipse. I show a picture of a solar eclipse of them side by side, and I look at the situation there, and I say, this what I think is happening is a first-time home buyer eclipse, because there's three things that are perfectly aligned today that I've never seen in my 25-year career. The first one being interest rates. Our interest rates are still at an all-time low through that process, and they just dropped here first part of this week. So interest rates are still low. I've never seen this case where, with interest rates being low, house prices have either leveled off or actually have declined in value. Some markets, a pretty big decline. I did talk to somebody from Glenwood Junction, Colorado, in a presentation that I made in Colorado, and they have not seen any depreciation at all in their market. So she said, this doesn't apply to me. And I said, I know, but maybe it will. But at least you can be in a situation where you can start to understand this. So number one being rates being still very low. Number two being a situation where we've seen, house prices aren't rising out of control. Typically what happens with low interest rates is that house prices spiral up. In this case, actually, house prices have stayed level or they've declined. And then the third component is the federal government's going to willingly hand you a check for $7,500 if you're a first-time home buyer to be able to buy. It's a tax credit. It's not a tax deduction. It's a tax credit. And I talked about in this particular video, I talked about don't worry about having to pay that money back by $500 over the 15-year period of time. Because I think what happens in that $500 situation is that if you continue to rent, you have no additional tax benefits. And this extra $500 that you wind up getting back, that you have to pay back to the government, is just going to be deducted from the tax refund that you would have gotten, whether there was a tax benefit, whether there was a tax credit or not. So you're just going to have to give up $500 of the additional tax refunds that you got by owning. If you rent, you're not going to be able to have that. So I outlined that in a 9-minute video. What I found is that it's about 9 minutes to the process. Now, you could do this on your own. You could look at this and say, I want to be able to get to these folks that are out there. But what I tried to do is I tried to take a medium of the media and take this to their benefit as far as where that goes. And obviously, this is the 9-minute video that talks about the first-time home buyer tax credit. The next few months, what we've got slotted is a first-time home buyer situation, the four benefits of that. These are presentations that we were doing for our folks. The move-up home buyer, we talked about those numbers. We have a product called Power Home Buying, which basically allows you some capability of being able to move on. And the mortgage checkup and others suggested by some subscribers. Our dilemma today is this, folks. The consumer needs information now to make better decisions. And I think that we've got to be able to look at this and really understand the fact of, why they're selling newspapers today. And I think the truth will come out one-on-one with an expert in the field, as I said before. And one of the reasons why my calling was to be able to go out and do that, I think that there are a lot of originators out there that struggle with how do I, the time and the money and the skill set to build information that consumers need. Some of you are going to be really good at it, probably even do a better job than what I've done on it. But I think there are so many people out there that are looking for turnkey solutions to be able to do that. So I'm going to leave it open. We need a system to re-engage the consumer. I'm going to leave this slide up there if you want to be able to send us any information. You want to be able to understand a little bit more about what we do, how we do it. You can just go to our website, which is majesticconsulting.com. There's my email address. If you'd like to just shoot me an email, tell me what's going on with your life, what potentially I can do to be able to help you through that process. And then if you want to just call Sandy direct, her number is 847-970-4261.